Hey everyone, good evening. Um, we haven't done this for a while. It's a lot of things have been going on. Plus, I've been under the weather, and I decided I needed to come out and get you guys up to speed on some of the things that are happening. Some of the things, try to connect some of the dots, and also I have a little message to the Democratic leadership out there because enough is enough. If we continue uh, doing what we're doing, which is they're doing basically nothing. I know we have little spurts here and there, and I know certain things are great, with the trolling on, social media, with the press conferences and sticking up with, hiding the Texas Democrats. But at the end of the day, none of that's working, folks. Texas redistricted. Trump has is putting the troops in DC, and I'm hearing from my sources it's not a when, I mean if, but it's just a matter of time when it happens. Uh, but to other cities and states. But just think about watching today. It was really interesting because we watch his press conferences. And we go out there and we it's most of them are hilarious because it looks like skits out of Saturday Night Live, but it really is sad because most of the time there's a lot of consequences that come along with it, and the biggest consequences that we're seeing play out is what's happening in Ukraine. And for those of you that have been following me and subscribing and reading my Substack letters, especially the past couple of days, I've been laying it out, and basically what's taking place in the next 30 days. And today, Trump again, basically said the quiet out loud while asked questions in the Oval. Donald Trump turned around and said something crazy. He basically, I think, blamed Zelensky. It said Zelensky's not all innocent himself. Something quoted like that, making it seem that again, his words, not mine, that it takes two to tango. And as I'm telling you, this is a preparation for a walkaway, which he's basically done. He's already, left Ukraine. For the past several days, as soon as the European leaders left, as soon as Zelensky left, every day ever since, and every Oval, he's made it very clear to explain to everybody, to the media, that the United States is not helping Ukraine, that we are not giving them any aid. We're not helping them, that they need to figure it out, that the NATO, that Trump worked it out where NATO is, and the European Union, is taking care of it. And, now he's selling them billions of dollars worth of equipment. Again, where's this equipment? We'll get to that, at a different time, but it's the same mumbo jumbo. At the same time, he's talking, one day, he's saying, I'm going to be tough on Putin. The next day, he's holding pictures of him and Putin and talking about how he's going to invite him to sit here at the World Cup, or the FIFA. It's really getting to a point. And today I saw something else that really triggered me when I watched the cabinet meeting, because this really wasn't a cabinet meeting. This was, for a lot of you that, that might not remember or might be not old enough, or yeah, that don't remember the Cold War or have not seen videos or pictures, or for those of you that do remember, watching the cabinet meetings play out are literally, if I had to put and say this was not in the United States and this was in Russia, and this wasn't Trump sitting there, but Putin and his cabinet, or even if we were in North Korea somewhere and this was, Kim Jong Un. The ass kissing. Yeah, I got it. Everybody, kisses the president's ass, whatever. But it's beyond ass kissing. It's beyond ass kissing, folks. It's a lot more dangerous than that, because knowing them like I know them, it's a constant. Every day they wake up, and every day they think of how more radical can we become? How can I impress the boss by doing something even more radical? by coming up with a plan to get rid of different people, or build a different concentration camp, or some way hurt California or Chicago or New York. I mean, this is the things that that are constantly being floated in Megaland, in Trump world, on a daily basis. And today I sat back and I was thinking to myself, watching this play out. I also we did a live with me with Wajid Ali, and on there we spoke about some of this stuff. And it really, and I said to myself, let me look back at some of my notes, some of my text messages, some of my stuff back from the day, like when we were, when my meetings with John Solomon and Fox, and some of the things that happened. And I started looking, at some of the notes, and it's interesting to see how, if the Democrats would just listen to somebody. And when I say Democrats, the Democrat leadership, because they're out there, trying to. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know who they're hiring. I don't know where they're spending all these millions of dollars, and what consultants they're hiring, what research up they're getting. I really don't understand, because what we're watching play out is just nonsense. I mean, so I went through some of my notes, and I'm going to give this advice to Democrats today, and hopefully, because we know some of them have their people watching. We have, some media watching. We have the right watching. So I'm gonna give them some advice. They need to listen. This is stuff that we were putting together when we were putting Mega together. When they were putting out the messages, and to start to get to where they got today, where they control basically the media cycle, where they control everything that happens. But anyway, let's go on. So the first thing that they need to do is they need to get a unified message. They have to stop going at each other's throats. They have to start eating their own. They have to stop, going after. They have to stop for a while. If they want to get back to a place where we could debate things, policies, everything, they have to stop. And they have to also stop trying to push far, far, far left policies. It's not about me, folks. I'm not here to dictate. I'm here to tell you what we need to do to be able to win back our democracy, to be able to then have these free conversations, to be able to talk about policies. Because the only way we're going to be able to get this back is if we're united. And the message has to be a lot closer towards the middle than a lot farther to the left. And this is all about right now. Certain people, we have to make our sacrifices to be able to win our democracy, than to be able to talk about all this stuff. And I know a lot of people are saying Newsom, Newsom. We'll talk about Newsom in a second, because I know, he might be trying, but again, he look to me. He's a fish that's out of water, that's just flopping on a dry land, where he's trying to make things happen, but he's not making anything happen. Trust me when I tell you. The only people, and this is the other part, which we're going to get to, is everybody needs to get out of the echo chamber. You have to stop, being, everybody gets happy and joy when we see Bernie Sanders, talking in front of 30,000 people, or AOC talking in front of 30,000 people, or, Pritzker standing there telling Trump, don't come in here, or you see Gavin Newsom, start trolling Trump on X. I mean, great stuff, but none of that's going to win us back our democracy. None of that is going to get us the seats. None of that is going to do. These are all just little bits and pieces. But what Trump is doing and what they're doing, they're actually making progress in taking away our democracy, taking away our rights, taking away the things. And this is why. But let's continue. Let's continue. So we said they have to get a unified message, which was part of what we spoke about. And when we started in 2016, our unified message was go against the deep state. And if you remember, that's what we ran on in 2016 when I was part of MAGA. What our message, what Brad Pascal and everybody else put together was deep state. And that's why you saw everybody. everybody in MAGA world, everybody would always talk about every single day the deep state. They would push, it would be a unified message. So before, and we'll get to what the message is, because it's not, so I'm not here to with a crystal ball and say, okay, this is how it is, because you need to establish a team. They need to start speaking to the right people to be able to put together what that message is. To be able, but it has to be a unified message. Next, they have to stop, very importantly, attacking, concentrating, not attacking, because you can't stop attacking. We always attack, but concentrating on Donald Trump. That's he's the one that sucks it in, because while everybody's concentrating on Donald Trump, everything else is happening behind the scenes. So you have to start calling out their theatrics. You have to start showing their theatrics. You Instead of being on the defensive constantly, which we're going to get to in a second, okay? And you have to because you just think about today, Kamala Harris ran on a platform that Donald Trump is a dictator, that Donald Trump is a convicted felon, and Donald Trump, and he is all of that, that he's a sexual predator, all these things. And where did it get us, folks? Donald Trump is in office. The reason why Donald Trump is in office because of creative, I'll call it marketing, whatever you want to call it, that the Democrats have to jump on board on, because he kept staying to his plan, which was the deep state, which was the crooked Hillary, crooked people going after it. Remember the chance, arrest her, all that stuff. That was all part of the same message. Okay. And we're not here to talk about cheating. Yes, they cheated as well, and that's lots of stuff, but we're talking about, we don't need to cheat. I mean, the guy is doing such a bad stuff. If we would just get our act together, if they would just start listen to a little bit of what I'm trying to tell them, we would be, I mean, Donald Trump would be having issues right now. Unify message. Stop just trying to think that if you're going to go out there and concentrate and just try to expose Donald Trump to that and try to find that smoking gun, then you're going to keep chasing it, because unfortunately, that's not how it's happening. Unfortunately, you need to be able to go and show. That's what he wants you to do. That's why he's attracting you. He's like a magnet. That's why he goes out there. That's part of the plan. You have to understand. They, when I say they, back in the day, we did the same. When I was part of it, we would plan press releases, we would plan media, what we would want the attack the night before, the day before. I would remember John Solomon calling me literally like at 5 o'clock in the evening, saying Trump needs a press release, we need to turn the news cycle, we need something big, get me something from Ukraine, something to do with Hunter Biden. And that's why I said there was no validation. Now, I'm not saying to go to the same extremes that we did or they do, and that's not what I'm saying to you. I'm just giving you an example of how coordinated the messaging was and why we're doing. So that's why I want you guys to understand, and that's what I'm trying to get across to some of the leadership out there, because unfortunately nobody wants to listen, and I don't know why. Either they're stuck in their own way, or their other reasoning. But if we don't wake up, and that's why I titled this, if the Democrats don't wake up, folks, I'm telling you, in another 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, before we even get to the midterms, we are going to be in a situation where, and I do not want to say I told you so. I do not want to be right. This is not about, because I don't get anything for being right. I don't get no big prize. I don't win millions of dollars. I don't get no, Academy Award. Nobody praises me for being right. If I'm right, we're in deep shit. Okay, we're in some serious deep shit if I'm right. So I don't want to be right, but unfortunately, I understand what's going on, and I'm using common sense, and that's why we need to start using common sense. And part of using common sense is using the proper information. using the proper information. One of the things that we had back in 2016, and I could guarantee you they had this in 2024, is a bunch of Democrats on the inside that were giving them information that turned Republican, and even till this day, just like you see with the Comey, what's it called, investigations, they have Democrats leaking that used to work for Biden. They're leaking even till this day, leak information, what's it called? And we used it and they are using it. But the Democrats, for some reason, have nobody from Trump's world. They have nobody inside Trump's world. They have nobody, and that's one of the problems. And the certain people that are trying to get across to them, and I'm trying to explain to them, that you need something that that are even willing to risk to by even aligning themselves with them to be able to save our democracy. Instead, some of these people are saying they're too busy. I don't know what they're too busy doing, but they're too busy. I'm going to give them another week, basically. If in the next week they don't respond and we don't get some conversations going, I'll let you guys know. I'll show you the emails. I'll show you exactly the responses, and then you guys make your own decision about all these people. Because the one thing I told you, I'm not here to sugarcoat. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to try to protect anybody. This platform is not for people to come out here and try to push some sort of an agenda. This platform we built to speak truth to power. This platform we speak for the voices, or for the people that can't, for the survivors, for the innocent, from the people in Ukraine. This is what this platform is about. That's it, and that's why it's very important. And I ask each and every one of you every day we need to grow it. We need to get bigger. We need to be bigger than most of these other platforms that are pushing just propaganda and nonsense. And when you deal with that, you have to be twice as strong, because the truth is harder to push than a lie. Let's continue. One of the most important things and that they need to do is they need to take over the news cycle. I don't know how to stress this enough. So I want each and every one of you to think about what a typical day is. Let's think about what a typical day is in our world. A typical day in our world is we wake up. For those of us, especially here, that want to save our democracy, and we go either on the local television or we go on our social media sites. And what do we watch happen? What does a typical day play out? We go on, and the first thing is we go in and look at the reactions of what happened to the night before, what we missed. And what is usually the night before is some crazy antics that Donald Trump or his team of cohorts come out and flood the media cycle with. And in response, the Democrats right away are go into respond mode. They go into defense mode. And the first thing they do, and the only thing they do, is they go and they start right away attacking Donald Trump, or attacking him, and not the subject. They don't deal with the issue. They attack Donald Trump. And we knew that then, and they know it now very well, and that's why they keep pushing it. Imagine this. When was the last time, just think to yourself, when was the last time you opened the news cycle in the morning and we had some breaking news from the Democratic side? Somebody coming on and said, I have this great idea. This is how I'm going to stop crime in my city. Or this is how I'm going to help, the immigrants in my state. Or this is how I'm going to. We don't have any of that, folks. What we have every morning is Donald Trump coming out attacking the Democrats, different states, different cities, different individuals. And then all day, the Democrats are on the defense. All day, they're replying, trying to checkpoint approve this whole thing about proof checking him. I mean, that's out the window. People are tired of it. Most people, because the guy lies so many times, and he keeps lying that you can't fact check him quick enough, and it becomes already it backfires because nobody wants to sit there and say, okay, enough already. I know the guy's a liar. Let me just listen. So you have to move on from some of these things. Instead of sitting there and being on the defense, you need to start getting on the offense. And being on the offense is not being trolling him on social media. That's not offensive, guys. That's going to die out pretty quickly, and it's not going to get vote, because the only people that are looking at this stuff again are Democrats. The only people that are going to Bernie Sanders 30,000 people rallies are Democrats. The only people that are going to AOC rallies are Democrats. None of these things, Akeem Jeffries, none of them are doing anything to cross the line, which was one of the most important things that we had. Because when we were setting up our mega thing, part of that was to make sure that we had surrogates. And this is where it's a very important thing to have surrogates on the other side, to be able to be an extension of your voice. Take a look at, for example, I'll give you they have on their side Scott Jennings. You see Scott Jennings on CNN every day fighting for Donald Trump. How come? Show me somebody on Fox that's a surrogate for the Democrats that has the capability and the firepower to be on Fox every day at a primetime show, to be able to sit there and give a voice anti Donald Trump. You don't have that. You don't have that. That's the crazy, but that's what I'm saying to you. They don't have to, because you know what? Because they can't, they keep using their own, because they can't go put a hardcore Democrat on Fox, because no Republican, no MAGA is going to give him any attention. They need to put people, and again, I'm not trying to put myself in the middle. I mean, I just don't know. I'm giving example. People like me that have been in that circle, that speak their language, that could go on Fox, that they can't attack on policies, that they can't attack because we're left wing, that they can't change the subject, where they have to face and then deal with a real conversation. So surrogates is extremely important, not just to go on television like on Fox TV, but to have your surrogates in the social media. What's it called? And I agree with you. Scott Jennings is vile, but Scott Jennings is their surrogate on the other side, that's constantly is sitting there and giving the few people that watch CNN are watching and constantly getting the other side and getting what's it called, which none of the Democrats are getting. If you put on any right wing media, you don't have any Democrats on any of these right wing media that they'll say, "Oh, it's vile. They're vile," but they're not there. There's no defense. If you put on Fox, I know a lot of you guys don't watch it, but I watch it just. First of all, I used to watch it all the time, but I watch it just because I need to be able to get an understanding. If you watch a Fox, it's totally different. It's a nonstop one thing, and it's like total brainwashing. It's like putting on the like a horse putting on those blinders and just going straight forward. Surrogates is extremely important to be able to have on one side or the other. And then the other extremely important thing that I can't stress enough for them is to stop running away from the problems. They need to learn already. They need to deal with it heads up, and they need to move forward. And I'm not giving you a quick solution right now. I'm giving you examples that need to be worked out by putting the proper team together to get the information out. So, for instance, in the last election, Donald Trump used, in the first election when he won in 2016, it was the deep state. The last election that he won, he used immigration. The only election he lost, folks, was the one where he made a slight miscalculation and used Hunter Biden. He used a thing that he went after used Hunter Biden in 2020. Hunter Biden was this big thing, what's a Jake Tapper? Because I wouldn't speak to Jake Tapper. I'm sorry, I don't need Jake Tapper to me. I don't need 10,000 people watching them, and I don't need CNN. Trust me when I tell you, if I want to, I could go on CNN, MSNBC, but I don't want to go on any of those because I think it only would hurt my truth. It would hurt because they want you to talk a certain way, and I don't want to do that. That's why we have our platform here. That's why we have our voice here. That's why I love our family here at Substack, and for all of you that support me. And trust me when I tell you, if you really look closely enough, there's CNN. They have their people right now subscribing to our Substack. So is Fox, all of them, because you see some of their reporting when they talk about sources. Primarily, we're probably the source they're quoting, because if you look at the timing of the stories of my Substacks or my reporting that comes out, and then when theirs comes out is you, and when they don't name their source and talk about, you could see common sense wise. And just like them, some of the same thing with a lot of these senators and Congress, and Senator Elizabeth Warren going on Fox means absolutely zero. This is what I'm trying to explain to you folks. So Elizabeth Warren is not going to get you. By her going on Fox, she is going to turn away votes. She's not going to bring you votes. What's it called? We need fresh faces. We need people that are coming out to fight. We need to move forward. I'm trying to tell you, and it's not that Elizabeth Warren is good or bad, but having her on Fox is not somebody that she's going to go have the independents or have the MAGA or any of the right wing decide, oh, you know what, we're going to go vote left. We're going to go vote for Democrats because we saw Elizabeth Warren on Fox. That's not going to happen. I promise you that. But I bet you, I will guarantee you anything, that if I go on Fox every day, that I guarantee you we will get votes coming in every single day. Every single day, we will be destroying them. What's it called? So I'm just giving you an example. You need to get the right. And the other most important thing is, like I said, is you have to deal with the issue. So the issue at hand right now is not immigration, not the deep state. I wrote my Substack. For those of you that didn't get a chance to read it, please make sure to go read it. I put it out maybe about 5-6 hours ago. It's called, sorry, the name of it is, oh, sorry, that's not the, so put so many things out there. America Under Siege, a Dictator's Plan to Revealed. Basically, what my sources are telling me on the inside is this is their next, besides the 2025 project 2025, besides all the things that they're doing, besides the selling out of Ukraine, all and trying to do away with the way we know elections to be, from mail-in voting and other things. The one thing I can tell you is that they're also now putting into motion is now they're going to use this as a narrative. They're going to now corner the Democrats, and this is a very important moment, and this is why I'm sounding the alarm bell right now more than ever, to make sure that we understand. Because if right now the Democrat leadership doesn't step up and doesn't take their bull by the horns and try to flip the script, we are in a lot of trouble. Because what Trump is now doing is what he did with immigration. He's going to do the same thing right now with crime. Folks, crime is an issue in the world. There's crime mostly in every state, in every country. And, some places it's more, some places it's less. Mostly everybody knows somebody that's been a victim of crime. So crime is something, is even more dangerous as a propaganda tool than immigration was. Think about what he did by using immigration as a tool for propaganda, the lying, the deceiving by making most of Americans. And I'm not talking about you guys, because you guys are not. You're in tune. You're following. When I say these things, I'm talking about majority of America. Because remember, majority of America voted for Donald Trump, even though he's a convicted felon. Even though that he's a dictator. Even though that he's a sexual predator. They still voted for him. He's still president of the United States because they did not know most of those things. What they knew was the messaging that the GOP, the MAGA machine, and Donald Trump and them pushed through. Besides, the cheating, besides everything else but majority of it, and that's why right now the messaging on the Democrat side has to be so much important, and that's why I'm talking to you because today the example is a crime. So what I'm hearing from my sources is they are not only weaponizing the National Guard to go into states to be able to, for us to get used to desensitize us, for people to get used, but also uh, it's a natural occurrence. They're not giving you the full situation. Like I'll give you an example. Let me reframe. So when they went into Washington D.C., part of the first thing they did is they started getting rid of all the homeless people. But they never told you whatever happened to all those homeless people. Nobody's ever talking about where they sent them. Did they just throw them in prisons? What happened? They didn't come with a solution. It's not like they came in and said, you know what? We have a lot of homeless people in the park. So this is the solution. We're going to relocate them here because the park is by the White House. So we're going to relocate them here, give them this. They don't do it. They just came in there one day, swooped it up, took over the homeless people. They're gone. So, but the Democrats, instead of talking about factual things that are happening and what they're sitting there trying to call him a dictator. They keep talking about Trump as a dictator. Everybody knows that already. We need to change the subject and also accept certain things. Like, for instance, when Trump goes out there and says there's crime in Chicago, that is a fact, folks. There is crime in Chicago. There's crime in Washington, D.C. Why are we trying to lessen the problem? Why are we trying to? And he knows that they are going to do it. He knows that as soon as he says, "Oh, there's crime in Chicago," instead of saying, "Yeah, we know there's crime in Chicago, and let's sit down and figure out how we're going to fix this thing," but not the way you're saying it. And these are the ideas we have to go fix this, and this is what we need from the federal government to fix. That's how you take over the subject instead of turning around and saying, "You know what? The crime has been down 20 something percent in the past 3 months." Folks, most of the voters out there in Chicago, right, get offended by stuff like that because they know there's crime in Chicago. And I'm not talking about, again, the echo chambers that you're going to see that are going to come out there, the hardcore Democrats that are going to vote anyway. For us to win, we need to start bringing people from the other side. We need to start putting together surrogates to go into red states, to go into red areas, to go into to do town halls, and to just stop trying to look good in front of each other. Because just think about it, as happy as all of you are that Gavin Newsom is trolling Trump, how does that help? Yes, is it fun to watch? Absolutely. But how does that put votes in our pockets? How does that save our democracy? It doesn't. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Now, I'm not saying not to do that, but you have to have a calculated game plan. They have the money because the donations that you guys go out there and give them, the Democratic Party has plenty of money. I mean, Pritzker himself's a billionaire that, for him, they could put together these marketing teams, but they need the information. See, they have all of this. The one thing they are missing and that they are not using is the proper information. And that's why they can't fight. And that's why they can't win, and that's why we're here today, and that's why I'm really worried that if somebody doesn't wake up, we're going to be uh, you know, I mean, what somebody says, Lev, I dare you to say something positive about the Democrats right now. What I mean, when you say the Democrat leadership, I don't talk about Democrats as individuals. I have nothing positive to say about Democratic leadership. I'm sorry, I don't. I mean, they left us out to dry. They left us to deal with Donald Trump. They didn't when we had all the power. They didn't leave any type of security or guardrails to protect us from what we're witnessing today. And now that we're going through this, we don't have no courageous leaders. Thank you, Greg, getting up. We don't have nobody, coming up there and trying to do these things, the things that just think about the things I'm telling you. If you just sit back and think about it, it's not rocket scientists. I'm not giving you some kind of crazy, cure for AIDS or something. This is common sense that they should understand. You know what I'm saying to you? When Rudy Giuliani and when these prosecutors wanted to infiltrate the mob, they they went and got mobsters that they then turned to become their informants inside the mob to give them information. They didn't go take college educated prosecutors with pedigrees and had opinions and said, you know what, give us your opinion of how to deal with them. It didn't work that way. It never works that way. Same thing with white collar crime. Same thing with any kind of corruption. Same thing any dictatorship. The only way you are going to defeat it is you have to defeat it from inside in. You have to know exactly what you're dealing with. So let me just put it to you this way, folks. Each and every one of you is great. And this has nothing to do with you guys because you guys are out there, really fighting the fight. Your support is incredible. God bless each and every one of you for standing with us, for, with a voice from Ukraine, with Alexander, the stuff that, with your help, we're able to go out there and help support our fight and speak truth to all the disgusting things that Trump and Putin are doing to the Ukrainian people. So definitely want to thank you for that. And I truly want to thank you for standing with me at Lev Remembers, which the other part of the platform is where, we're speaking truth to power. It's not easy. And sometimes it's very difficult, especially like last week and even this week, watching the fact that the way they've been able to already whitewash a lot of the Epstein files. It's very sad to see that happen, and especially we've been sounding the alarm for so long that what is playing out. The media is not asking the questions anymore. You have James Comer doing what I told you he's going to do. He's trying to paint the narrative, and you saw, you heard the recordings that Todd Blanche. I mean, everything I told you was going to play out, basically played out. And again, I don't want to sit here and say I'm glad I'm right, because I'm pissed off that I'm right, because unfortunately, it's we have to deal with it. But bright side is I know September 3rd, the Epstein survivors are going to be in Washington, D.C. I think they're going to be meeting with bipartisan Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna, and hopefully their voices will be heard. Hopefully they'll allow their voices, because I still, without their voices, listening to this garbage is just disgusting. So that's what Love Remembers, a voice of Ukraine from Ukraine was set up for. Speak truth to power, and we've become a reckoning. I could tell you we're on Donald Trump's radar even more, besides my personal relationship with them. The fact that we, especially the past month and a half, the stories that we've been breaking, the information that we've been given and passing on, he is really pissed off, and they're really, putting certain things in to try to find certain leakers, certain people that are giving information. So it's getting harder and harder, and it's crazy to see this whole thing play out like this. So it's very worrisome. So with that said, again, w- please go out there, spread the message far and wide. We need to build this platform. Support any way you can. For those of you that support, for those of you that already contribute, God bless you. Thank you so much. Really means not only a lot to me personally, knowing that you're out there, and I read your DMs, and it means so much about you guys really care about how I feel and where I am. But besides that, for those of you that contribute, uh, it's what allows me and keeps me doing what I'm doing, and fighting the good fight and speaking truth to power. Because trust me when I tell you, I have no billionaires or corporate media standing in line trying to support me to speak truth to power. On the other hand, I'm sure get paid a lot of money just to for them to shut me up. So all the contributions, it just keeps me going, and God bless you, and allows me to be able to keep this information and pass it along for free. For those of you that are asking, the way you could contribute besides becoming a paid subscriber, always number one, builds the community, and it helps out. But you could also go to either Venmo, it's at Lev-Parnas, PayPal at Lev Parnas, or Zelle, the real Lev Parnas at gmail.com. Those are the three ways you could contribute to help this platform, help me keep doing it. And definitely, I recommend, if you haven't yet, make sure you pick up your book, copy of Shadow Diplomacy. If you read the book, you'll see most of everything I've written there. It's like replaying out the same people, same names, same shadow dealings. It'll give you an inside look at what Donald Trump does not want you to see. You can pick up a copy at LEVREMEMBERS.com. And all the money support comes to support our mission. And our mission here, folks, is to speak truth to power. Let the voices be heard that they try to silence, and to try to save and win back our democracy. And for those of you that joined late, please rewatch it. I'm going to put this out like probably within the next half hour. So those of you, please make sure to rewatch it. Pass this information far and wide. Let's make your phone. I know a lot of you are emailing, calling. A lot of you I DM speak. I know some of you who you are that are consistently speaking to even some of the people on some of these camps. I ask of you to continue doing it. Keep raising the alarm. Maybe they'll wake up, and I hopefully, because we need more unification, less division. We need to be able to go out there and get this done, because a lot of these things, a lot of the conversations, I was hoping to give you guys some much better good news on some hopefully by now that we've aligned, and on certain things they're going to have. But unfortunately, I'm still seeing the barriers, and it's starting to worry me, because time is running around, the clock is ticking, and we need to start, as I say, when it comes to watching them, don't listen to what they say, watch what they do. Same thing here, folks. What I'm saying to you, when it comes to our leaders, to our people that are supposed to be protecting our voices, people that we're trusting to save our democracy, l- let's stop listening to what they say. Start watching what they do. And let's start holding everybody accountable, because we don't have too much time. And if they're not doing what they're saying, we need to replace them, and we need to move on. We can't just hold on and hope something's going to happen, because we're going to wake up one day, and we're going to be very sorry. And we need to do it not just for ourselves, but for our kids, for our grandkids. So anyway, I've held you up long enough. It's late. I want to wish you a good night. Tomorrow. Oh, a little housekeeping quickly, while you guys are here. Very important. Tomorrow, 11 o'clock a.m. We have a special Lev Remembers. I have two very special guests with me. They're going to come on. One of them is Miles Taylor. Miles Taylor is currently on the list, that same retribution list I'm on. He's actually one of used to work for the Trump White House. Trump signed an executive order to open up an investigation into him. So Miles is going to be with me at 11 o'clock. Also joining us, special guest, Olivia Troy. Olivia is a dear friend of mine. Olivia used to work as the national security advisor under Vice President Pence. So tomorrow, and she's under attack from actually not only all of them, but personally from Kash Patel, the FBI director. The head of the FBI is suing Olivia Troy personally. So that's how crazy these people are. So tomorrow at 11 a.m., set your alarms. I sent out the email notifications. Please join us and spread the word far and wide. Let's get as many people as we can there, because the information we're going to talk about, you're going to have three whistleblowers, three people that Donald Trump are on the retribution list, three people that Donald Trump does not want talking, will be talking right here on Substack Live at 11 a.m. Tomorrow. So make sure you do that. Also, I have some big news to share with you. We have another big Substack Live that we're gonna do this month. I mean, this week actually. So on Thursday, I'll be sending out an email. Set your notification. We are going to first time. Me and Mary Trump are going to go live on Substack. Me and Mary have never spoken, have never met, but we have a lot in common. And one of them being her uncle, my ex-boss, Donald Trump, the president of the United States. So Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, me and Mary Trump are going to go live on Substack. Definitely want to watch that. We're going to go into some information that nobody else is talking about. These are between me and Mary. Obviously, very few people could tell you the things about Donald Trump, and we're going to talk about also his health and some other things that go into it. And right after that, at 3 p.m., our usual Unleashed with me, Michael Cohen, and Malcolm Nance. It's going to be some show because there's a lot that we're going to go into, and you don't want to miss it. And then right after that, we're going to do our paid subscribers only Q&A. So please, if you haven't become a paid subscriber, make sure you do it now, because this week I'm going to do several paid subscriber Q&As to catch up to I owe you for the past week or so, because it's been so crazy. We haven't been able to do it. And also, my wife kicked me in the butt to make sure that I remind everybody. I know there's a lot of orders on the books and clothes. So quick update: the books should be coming in any day. We're waiting for the books to come in. As soon as they come in, we will be getting them right out to you. So just bear with us. As far as the merchandise, we've changed suppliers. So we're just dealing with the technical stuff, and that should be going out within the next week or so, also really quickly. So I appreciate all the support and your understanding, but it's me and my wife where we don't have some big corporation, and we're trying to make sure we get everything out to you guys, and at the same time run a family. We have three little kids right now that are still at home, besides all the bigger ones that are out there, and with all the breaking news and constantly making sure to get you up to speed and connecting the dots, it gets a little crazy. So I really appreciate all your understanding for that. But everything is going to be on its way, and just want to let you know that. So that's it for tonight, folks. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for being a part of the Lev Remembers Voice from Ukraine family. And stay tuned. There's a lot more happening this week. So subscribe, pass the message on, and you know what? make sure go hug your children and hug a loved one, because with all this crazy things, we sometimes forget. We sometimes forget to say I love you. We sometimes forget to kiss our kids or hug them because we're so intertwined in all this bullshit that Donald Trump has put on us. So make sure you do that. And God bless each and every single one of you. God bless America and Slava Ukraini. Good night, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.